Welcome students. Myself Shaila Shetkar, Assistant Professor in Botany from Government College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Sakri. The program is Bachelor of Science, first year. The subject is Botany, Generic Elective. Semester is 2. Course code is BOG 102. Course title is Coastal and Mangrove Ecology. Title of the unit is Unit number 4. Flora and Fauna of Mangrove and Associated Environments. Module name is General Account of Mangrove Fauna. This is the outline of my module. In this module, we are going to learn about the general account of fauna associated with mangrove environment. This is the learning outcomes of the module. At the end of the module, you will be able to describe the general account of fauna associated with the mangrove environment. Coming to the introduction, mangroves are important breeding and feeding grounds for both terrestrial and marine fauna. The mangrove tree trunks, aerial roots and sediment provide suitable microhabitats for many animals. Above the ground, the trees and canopy provide a habitat for insects, reptiles, birds and mammals. Now, let us learn about the general account of mangrove fauna. The mangrove fauna is classified into invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates are the animals without backbone or bony skeleton, whereas vertebrates are the animals with bony skeleton. Invertebrates are further divided into crustaceans, mollusks and insects, where the crustaceans are further divided into crabs, mud lobsters, prawns and barnacles. Mollusk is further divided into bivalves and gastropods. Bivalves include cockles, mussels and oysters. Gastropods includes periwinkle snail. Insects are further divided into butterflies, hawk moth and wild honeybee. Vertebrates of mangrove forest are classified into fish, mammals, birds, reptiles and amphibians. Mangrove trunks and roots hanging in water along creeks and inlets are home to a variety of barnacles, bivalves and snails. The soft sediment in the mangrove forest is the habitat for crabs and many other invertebrates. The feeding activity of invertebrates on the sediment surface and plant litter promotes nutrient cycling. These small animals are a source of food for invertebrates such as reptiles, birds and shallow water fish that come to the mangrove shore at high tide. Crabs and gastropods are the major predator of seeds. The marine life, especially juvenile fish, prawns and crabs are abundant in the mangroves because of the availability of phyto and zooplanktons, which are primary food source in the marine ecosystem. Mangroves also provide breeding habitats for variety of birds. Now let us learn about invertebrates found in the mangrove forest. Mangrove offers both hard and soft bottom habitat for variety of invertebrate life. The extensive root system, muddy bottom and open water are all home to the invertebrates that are well adapted to tidal influences, salinity variations and temperature. These invertebrates feeds on leaf litter, detritus, planktons and small animals. Now let us learn about the crustaceans found in the mangrove forest. Crustaceans are the large class of arthropods. They have hard exoskeleton, joint legs, segmented body that is bilaterally symmetrical. Crustaceans includes crabs, mud lobsters, juvenile prawns and barnacles. Now first let us learn about the crabs found in the mangrove forest. The three different types of crabs are commonly found in the mangrove forest. They are mangrove tree crab, fiddler crab and grapeseed crab. The first one is the mangrove tree crab. They reside in the canopy, feeding primarily on red mangrove leaves. Fiddler crab. They feed entirely on mud, which they scrape with spoon-like fingers of their claws. Grapsid crab. Grapsids feed on fallen mangrove leaves and thus are important in nutrient recycling. Now let us learn about the other crustaceans found in the mangrove forest. The first one is the mud lobster. These crustaceans lives in the semi-liquid mud in the swamp which feeds on organic matter in the mud. Juvenile prawns. They often live in the estuarine mangrove swamps in search of food, especially planktons. Barnacles. They are hard, white, cone-like found attached to rocks, basal trunks and aerial roots of mangrove trees. Now let us learn about mollusks found in the mangrove forest. Mollusks are the hard body creature often covered with hard shell. They are subdivided into bivalves and gastropods. Bivalves are large class of mollusks. They have a hard calcareous shell made up of two parts in which soft parts are inside the shell. They include cockles, mussels and oysters. They are edible bivalves commonly found in the mangrove mudflats in which they feed on planktons and organic detritus. Gastropods. They are commonly known as snails. The gastropod found in mangrove forest is mangrove periwinkle snail. It crawls along the aerial root of a red mangrove and feeds on a algae growing on mangrove tree. Now let us learn about the insects found in the mangrove forest. The first one is the mangrove tree nymph. It is one of the few butterflies that are found in the mangrove forest. They visit and feed on the nectar of flowers of mangrove plants. The second is hawk moth. Hawk moth is known to be the pollinator of mangrove plant. The third is the wild honeybee. They are found nesting and feeding on the nectars of the mangrove flowers. Now let us learn about the vertebrates found in the mangrove forest. The first is the fish, mud skipper. It is the most interesting and unusual fish in the mangrove forest. It is a type of mudfish that lives between mangrove roots. They have evolved adaptation that allow them to breathe out of water through their adapted gills. They feed on insects and other invertebrates. Moving to the mammals found in the mangrove forest. They are long-tailed macaque and giant fruit bat. The first one is the long-tailed macaque. They are the common primate species. They feed on immature leaves, young fruits and flowers of mangrove tree. The next is the giant fruit bat. The bats rest on the branches of the mangrove tree which feeds on the fruits and the nectar of mangrove flowers. Now the birds which are found in the mangrove forest. The birds found in the mangrove forest are egret, heron and roseate spoonbill. Mangroves and mudflat provide important breeding and feeding grounds for resident and migratory birds. Egrets and herons have long legs, necks and sharp beaks for wading and probing in the water and mud in search of food. The next is the roseate spoonbill. The shallow water and mud flats of the mangrove make ideal habitat for probing shoreline birds. It preys on mollusks and other invertebrates. Now let us learn about the reptiles found in the mangrove forest. The first one is the estuarine crocodile. It is the largest animal that inhabits the mangrove mudflat. It feeds on fish, water, birds, crustaceans and other invertebrates. The next is the mangrove snake. It is the most eye-catching snake with glossy ink black and striking yellow cross bands. It is found coiled on a tree branch. Moving to the amphibians found in the mangrove forest. The amphibian found in the mangrove forest is the crab-eating frog. The frog can tolerate up to 80% of pure seawater salinity. It does not swallow water when it is in the brackish water. These are the references of my today's module. Thank you.